Okay, so notes 2.4 equivalent equations. Your homework will be on this as well, this page here. So our first 12 problems, we're going to simplify each expression using the distributive property, and the distributive property means we are going to multiply. Okay, it's just a fancy way of saying multiply, and we use the distributive property so that we can get rid of parentheses. Okay, so looking at number 1 here, the number that is outside of my parentheses is a -6, which means we will take this -6 and multiply it to each piece of my parentheses. Now, we got to be careful, right? Because see how this -6 has this minus sign here? What that means is when we do our multiplying, it'll flip the signs that are already inside. So this negative here will become positive. This positive here will become negative. And you'll see what I mean in a hot moment. So -6 times -5p, flip the sign, it becomes positive. 6 times 5 is 30. Don't forget the p. -6 times 1. Well, that 1 now is becoming negative, so 6 times 1 is 6. And there we go. Okay, so two negatives when multiplied together become a positive, and then a positive and a negative multiplied together becomes a negative. Okay, looking at 2, we have 3 times v plus 10. So 3 times v is 3v. 3 times 10 is 30. Now, this 3 is positive on the outside here. So everything else, the signs stay the same. So that's still going to be a plus in between. All right. Let's look at number 3. So we have a negative outside of our parentheses. So these signs are all going to flip. So -4 times -5x becomes a positive 20x. -4 times positive 10 becomes a negative 40. And there we go. Now, some of you might think, well, why can't we do 20x minus 40? Well, they're not like terms, and we're going to come to that after number 12. Next up, we have 3 times 9n plus 8. 3 times 9n is 27n, and it stays positive. Because this number outside, this 3 is a positive. Since this 9 is a positive, they stay positive. 3 times 8 is 24, and it stays positive. We didn't have a negative we were dealing with, so nobody's signs get flipped. Okay? I want you to try 5 through 12 totally on your own and see if you get the same answers. Okay? So again, try 5 through 12 on your own. Pause this video. Okay, hopefully you did, and I'm going to just scroll through so that you can see the answers. But let me fix this one. 9 times -5 is a negative 45x. There we go. So scroll through, see if you got the same answers as I did. Looking good so far. So for this last one, for a recap, 2 times 8r is going to be 16r. It stays positive. 2 times 3 stays a positive 6. So that would be the final answer. Alright, so next up we have to simplify each expression by combining like terms. So combining like terms means put together numbers with the same variable. Now I say put together, but what I really mean is we are either going to add or we are going to subtract. It kind of depends on the sign. So earlier we were multiplying, now we're straight up adding and subtracting. So let's look at 13. Who's got the same variable part? Well, -3x minus 6x does. So think about this, what is -3 minus 6? Well, if I have a negative and I'm subtracting more, it becomes more negative. So we have a bigger negative number, which is negative 9. So because of these negatives, I know I'm still going to have a negative answer when I'm adding or subtracting. So I just added the number part. 3 plus 6 is 9. And there we got negative 9. So when we start simplifying this, this is a negative 9x. Okay? 5 does not have a like term, so we just drop it down. Drop it like it's hot. 14. We have 6r plus 5 minus 5r. Who are the like terms? The 6r and the minus 5r. So think about this. What is 6 minus 5? Well, that's 1. So really, we have 1r left. We didn't fiddle with plus 5, so we just bring plus 5 down. Okay? And if you wrote 5 plus 1r, that's still good. That's still a good answer. All right, let's look at 15. So 15, we have 6n, and it has a like term of 8n. So think about it like this. 6n plus 8n, well, that gives us 14n. Then we have 1 and 5. They are like terms. 1 plus 5 is plus 6. Again, this is all adding and subtracting, no multiplying here. 16, we have 1 minus 6. So we have a positive 1 minus 6. Well, I got to be careful here. I know I'm going to have a negative as my answer because 6 is bigger than 1 and so that has a negative sign. Then 6 is 5 bigger than 1, so that's how I get negative 5. If you want to think about it that way, I know that was kind of mumbled and fiddled. So we have negative 5 for 1 minus 6. We didn't mess with the plus 4x, so we just bring down the plus 4x, and that would be our final answer. So why don't you guys try 17 through 24 on your own, which is the rest of the problems for that section. Okay, so try 17 through 24 on your own. So pause the video, let's do that. Okay, now check your work. Did you get the same answers as me? Now, the reason why 17's all highlighted and stuff is because, with negative 7 plus 4, the negative 7 had the bigger number part, so that's how I know I'm going to have a minus sign. And 7 is 3 bigger than 4, so that's how I got this 3 part. Okay? So again, I'm going to scroll through. Here are all the answers. And now we're going to work on 25, and just 25, because the remaining of this will be your homework. So the whole reason we did distributing and combining like terms is so we can find equivalent, which means equal, expressions or equations. So first, what we will do is we will distribute. So the number in front of my parentheses is a negative 10. So I will distribute negative 10, which means multiply. So negative 10 times x is negative 10x. Negative 10 times negative 3 flips its sign, so it becomes a positive 30. I didn't mess with anything else, so I just bring it on down. Now we can combine like terms. You always have to do it in this order. First you're going to distribute, then you will combine like terms. So I combine like terms. Well, my only terms that are alike are 2 and 30. 2 plus 30 is 32. I didn't mess with anything else, so I just bring this minus 10x down, and I bring down the y equals. And we are done. This is how you find an equivalent expression. So this is saying, what I mean by this equivalent expression is this expression I started with is equal to this expression that I ended with. Okay? So again, the remaining however many of these you shall do on your own and for homework. So make sure you turn it in. All right, everyone, have a great day.